Hello everyone, welcome to the third part of tutorial interface Python with MySQL. In this part we are going to see connecting to MySQL from Python. So there are mainly 7 steps to connect MySQL from Python. The first step is to start your editor, that is Python IDLE in our case. Then we will have to import the package required for database programming, that is import mysql.connector. We are giving it as a name as SQL2. After doing these two steps, in the third step we will have to open a connection, and for that we will use the following syntax. And what is the connection? Connection is actually a session between your Python and MySQL. So as long as you are working from Python to MySQL, your connection will be active, and when there is no need to communicate from Python to MySQL, you can close the connection. So in order to open the connection, we have the syntax, that is connection object equal to SQL which is a MySQL connector. Dot connect is the method which requires host name, that is the address of the machine. If the data is on the local machine, we will use the local host. And then user equal to username of your installation, MySQL installation. Password is equal to password of your MySQL installation, and the name of the database which you want to connect. For example, mycon, we have given the name as of connection as mycon equal to sql2.connect. Host equal to localhost, because the database or the MySQL is on the local machine where we are running the Python program. User will be the root, and password will be the password of the installation. We will see in a couple of minutes. Database is school in our case. So we have a database in our MySQL installation, and we are going to connect with that database, right? So we have a method to check whether the connection is successful or not, that is underscore connected, and we will use this method in the following way. If mycon, which is the name of the connection we have created, dot is connected, if it is true, we will print the connection is successful, else we will print connection is unsuccessful. So let's try to complete these 3 steps first, because these are the most important one. If the connection is successful, then only we go further. So let's complete these first. Import mysql dot connector as SQL store. So these are the 2 steps. Now we will have to create the connection. So mycon is equal to SQL dot connect. Host is equal to localhost, comma, user is equal to root, comma, password is equal to kvc123 for my machine, and database is equal to school. So this is the command to create mycon. Let me check if it is successful or not. So for that we will write if mycon dot is underscore connected. This is a method which will return true if it is connected. So you can just give a message right now, print connection is successful, else print and is unsuccessful, right? So let me save the file. Let me give it the name connection. So let me run it. So we have got some errors, and if you see this error, what is the error? Unknown character set UTF-8. So this is a common error. If you find you got this error, the simple solution is to include another field in your connection, that is char set equal to UTF-8. And why it is so? Because uh, your Python version and your MySQL version are not matching. They are working off character set. Unicode characters is different, and if you want it to work, you will have to set the character set to UTF-8, right? Let me try run it again. Yeah, now we have got the message connection is successful. So we have completed the third step. Let's see the next steps. So after creating the connection is successful, we will have to create a cursor. So a database cursor is a special control structure that facilitates the row by row processing of records in result set, that is the set of records retrieved as per query. So cursor is a logical structure which stores the data, we can say. So in order to create a cursor, the syntax is cursor object name equal to connection object name dot cursor, a simple one. So we will use the command cursor equal to mycon dot cursor. That is the fourth step we have. So let us do that. We don't actually need this. We just want this to check whether the connection is successful or not. If you want to keep it, that's fine, and if you want to get rid of that, you can delete that. I want to get rid of that since the connection is successful. Now mycon dot cursor is equal to mycon dot cursor. So we have named the cursor as cursor itself. Okay, we have completed the fourth step. Let's see step number 5. Execute a query. So a query is a SQL command that can be executed using execute function with cursor. So we want to write a SQL command which we want to execute with your cursor. For that we will use cursor object dot execute and within bracket SQL query in string format. So we will use cursor dot execute select star from student, because in our school database we are having a table student. We want to fetch all the records from the table in your cursor. So that is your fifth step. So let us complete that step as well. So we will write cursor dot execute select star from student, right? So we have completed the fifth step. Now let's see the next step, what we have to do. Now the next step is the important one, can be done in various ways. We are just going to see one of the ways. Step 6 is extract data from result set. So what's a result set? First let's see. A result set refers to a logical set of records that are fetched from the database by executing a SQL select query. That means when we write a select command, it fetches the data from the database, and the data which it has fetched from the database is available inside your cursor, and that is known as the result set. So it is made available to the application program. Once the execute function is executed, result set is available in your cursor object, and from the cursor object we will have to select the records, or we will have to see the values. So for that we have different methods of the result set. So what are those methods? So we will use data equal to cursor.fetchAll. It will return all the records from the cursor in tuple form, that is variable data will be a tuple. In the second way, we can say data is equal to cursor.fetch1. It will return one record from the cursor in tuple form. It will return record after record if we use multiple times. Means first time first record, next time second record, and so on. If there are no more records, then it returns none in the data variable, right? The third way, we can say data is equal to cursor.fetch many, and we will provide value n, that is a number here, and we want to fetch that many records from your cursor. So it will return n records from the cursor in tuple form. If there are no more records, then it will return the empty tuple. We have a property called row count. So row count equal to cursor.row count. It will return the number of records fetched from the cursor so forth. So this is how we can extract the data from result set, and the final step is the cleanup of environment, that means closing everything. For that we will use mycon.close. So step 6 is important. We are just fetching all the records at once from the cursor in a variable called data, right? And then we will display that data. So we have executed the select command. That means after execution of the command, we will have all the records of the table student inside your cursor, and then we want to display, or we want to extract that data from cursor into a variable called data. So we will say data equal to cursor dot fetch all. So that will fetch all the data from the cursor and will assign it to data variable in a list of tuples form. Now data is a variable which has tuple 1, tuple 2, tuple 3 in a list form, and we want to display all those tuples. So we will write a for loop for t in data print t. So that is how we can fetch tuple by tuple records from t, and then we can close everything by saying mycon dot close. So let me run it and see the result. So as we can see, we have got records Rajesh Kumar, date 17 January 2001, class 11, section A, and marks is 90.0. Likewise 12101 Hariom, date 13/5/2001, 12th, section A, and marks is 99. So that is how it will display the data in tuple form. So we are having a question same which we have already solved. So we have a table called student, and the database school, username is root, password is KBC. We have roll number, name, date of birth, class, section, and marks, which we have seen above, and this is the same code to display data from the table student row wise. In the next video we will see parameterized query, that means how we can supply parameter and fetch different records according to the parameter or according to different SQL queries. Thank you.